Me?
I'm hitting record.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Um,
Um, when I have problems in my right shoulder, my acupuncturist puts needles in my left leg.
but why not? And I'll
Yeah,
tell you why not. Let's just even say it from a movement point of view. Our arms and legs, our limbs are formed embryologically at the same time. We are designed to roll, creep, and crawl before we use our hands to come up to standing.
very
So
interesting.
if there is a problem with an arm, you can work it through the leg because our arms and legs are part of it. Remember how we're always talking about systems? Sorry, I got an eyelash somewhere.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Boring.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, you know how we're always talking about systems,
Yeah.
and so the arms and legs are a system.
Yes,
They're
yes,
they're
yes.
so connected, and so I mean, you can even see, look, here's Kitty. He's on his back legs and his front legs.
Right.
And okay. So it's the if we work on one. Now in acupuncture, they're not looking at it so much from that perspective. However, if you understand acupuncture well enough, of which I don't, I just love it.
Me too.
Um,
Me too.
yeah, I mean, I do not tout to be an expert. In this work I do, I'm an expert, I guess you could say. And I only say, I guess you could say. But
You definitely are. There
there is
we go.
a fantastic doctor who I studied his work. Was a retired ER doctor and started to delve into acupuncture and embryology. And I'm like, and now you're talking. So he goes into the embryological perspective of acupuncture. And that to me makes sense. So he explains from the time it's a sperm and an egg, from the time that the sperm makes the chemical that connects to the lining of the egg that opens the egg to bring in the sperm, from every aspect. And then, so he talks about it scientifically, and he talks about it anatomically, and he talks about it embryologically, and he ties in embryology with Chinese thinking, Chinese medicine, Chinese, I don't know what you would call it. It's the whole
Yeah,
thing,
the Chinese approach to medicine. Yeah.
Chinese approach to medicine. Thank you.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah.
and so many animals on me, it's tickling my nose. I know, kitty. Ugh. Um, and so in that, he talks about the little army men. And you know how there's apparently the thing where they did the little statues, and you go into this place and it's the little statues of little, um, they're like the military from a
I
million.
know about the big statues,
I
the
thought they
huge
were,
ones that you find in some church or other. You find
well,
these
it's
an
not that there's not,
army of an army of statues. But that I don't know if that's Chinese. I think it is Chinese, but they're
okay.
huge.
Oh, I thought they
So
were,
this must be a different one.
okay. Maybe it is that. I thought they were small, all on a wall somewhere or something.
You're
Maybe it's how
probably
I
talking
read,
about something else. But anyway, go on, go on.
but
I'm
it
with
is
you.
an army of.
Yeah,
And in that army of, he talks about that that's considered the maleness.
right, right.
And in maleness, you look at when these organs are starting to develop embryologically, they are connected with that maleness. These are connected with that femaleness. Maleness has nothing to do with gonads, and femaleness has nothing to do with ovaries. Maleness has to do with the color and kind of energy that is brought into these organ systems and development of systems. And the femaleness, it's a whole different perspective in the
Wow.
way that it ties it in. And I just sit there and it's like, you could take about an hour to enjoy reading one page at a time
Wow. Wow.
for all that it means. And so when we simply say, oh, yeah, Chinese medicine, if my arm is working, having a problem, that's why they go to my legs. Oh my God, the level of detail of what that statement even meant.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
want to give to you.
Yeah. 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 Totally. I can see that. Yeah. Totally. Totally. Amazing.
So then tell me how you're doing.
Okay.
What have you been implementing?
Okay. Well, and Dendino, of course, but I can only do it on my left leg because I can't raise my right leg. It sets off nerve pain, which is so excruciating. So I do it on my right leg without touching with my mind,
Can I
which
make
is
a
just
can
as
I make a
good.
suggestion? Can I make a
Yes,
suggestion?
please.
Well, considering what we were just talking about, imagine right now, it's which leg you can't touch the left?
Right,
The
right.
right leg. Okay. Sorry, I was thinking, okay, you can touch the left. Okay, so you can't touch the right
Right.
leg. Go to the right hand. Okay, if you're going to do that, I need you to go down. I know, and you're purring. I understand. Oh, okay, go to the right hand
Right.
and start to just touch one finger and feel if you can feel it into that corresponding toe. Okay, go to a finger that you can. You might start with a pointer finger. You may be able to get to and touch it like this a little bit. So I'm just giving it this little sensation so that I'm holding on to the nail bed and the pad of the finger.
I want to touch this. And so, yes, okay. I'm with you.
That. And I'm pushing into the finger.
I see, I see, I see. And
And so I'm moving the joint.
yes.
So I'm moving the joint.
Wow.
Wow. Do you feel it?
I do. I do.
Do you feel it inside your thigh?
Yes. I feel it in my left foot too, but I want to talk to you about my left foot after this.
Okay. And now come to the thumb and give a little push into the thumb and move the joint around.
I really feel it, Elinor.
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing.
Can you feel it even down the low part of your back?
Yes.
Right. So then you feel it from the thumb into the joint, turning it a little around that joint, and you feel it in that toe. And then you feel it on the inside of the thigh.
Because that's where the nerves go?
Yeah. And the meridians that we're talking about.
Right, right.
And then you'll feel it in the low back around the sacrum. Can you feel something that happens within the joint of the sacrum?
Yes. It's like yeah, it's a stimulation.
It's like a stimulation.
I feel it.
So let's go to each finger. We'll go back to the pointer finger, the index finger. And it's just a little, you don't need to do much. The lighter you do it, the
better.
more you find that connection.
Got it. Of course. Of course. Of course.
And then we go to the middle finger, the thumb on the underside, the fingers on the top, and then ever so slightly just a support into the joint. into the joints of the finger, and then just a little rotating around. Oh my gosh, feel that connection in the thigh, in the knee,
Yeah.
and go to that toe, that corresponding toe.
Can't get away from the thigh.
I can't get away from my thigh either. The inside of the thigh.
Yeah.
It's so much stimulation. It's
Yeah,
almost
it's
tingling.
strong. It's very
Right.
strong. Wow. Wow.
Okay.
That's really interesting. This is really
Do you
interesting.
see what I'm saying? So
So,
you
yeah,
can
so
do
I can
that
do
with each
that
finger.
that way. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. But
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you also, one more thing about endodina. I've been doing it with my hands too, with my because my hands are, my what I do with the piano. So I thought, well, do it with your hands too, and it's very nice, very nice. And then, of course, I go up the arm.
Show me how you go up the arm. Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, you walk them. You walk them. Now you can do what we call in T-touch, dragging the plow. So thank you. I see your foot. So you put the thumb, and then you drag the plow. So it's the horse. Here's the horse, and here's the plow, and it's the horse walking, dragging the plow. You've got to stop doing that. Thank you. There, it's just a little bit of dragging the plow
Got it.
all the way up. And there's a little bit in that dragging the skin that does another level of stimulation
Ah,
to
got
the
it.
collagen, to the connective tissue under the skin.
Wow.
And I believe it brings light into the cells under there, because if you feel the difference when you drag the plow all the way up,
Yeah.
it's like getting a facelift on your arm. And
Wow.
a lot of times as we have stiffness in the neck or injury in the shoulder, or we're hitting a certain age where the collagen doesn't hold the shoulders in place, so the shoulders can get injured more easily, spontaneously, without having fallen. A friend of mine, it happened in bed. She was just reaching over, touching her dog. It's not like that was set up to be that way. It's the collagen fibers are not holding together so well. So we get this general malaise feeling in that arm, even all the way up here. It's because the nerves aren't conducting as lively as they were designed to conduct.
Mhm.
When we do the horse drags the plow,
We
we love
stimulate
all of
the
our,
nerves.
you stimulate the nerves, but I believe it brings light into the cells in the connective tissue under the skin. Because
Now,
when
if
we
what if you do it all the way up to the shoulder? Is that going to help?
absolutely,
That's going to help the shoulder,
oh no,
right?
no, no, all the way you can do it.
I'm going to do that every day because, that's that's my biggest problem. I might not be able to walk with my hip, but my shoulders being arthritic is my biggest problem.
So now here, this is what you can do also, is first you can just, if you want, you can do it around the arm, right? Okay.
Okay.
Because getting up here, it's like you can't quite get the
Yeah.
finger the same way.
Yeah.
So then you can also just go around. You can go around. Do you see? I'm just dragging the plow
Yeah.
along the skin.
Okay.
Look, I'm dragging the plow along the skin, because we can't quite get, if someone were doing it to us and they could get all the way back here, then that gives even the bigger benefit.
Yeah.
But what I love the most is what we can do for ourselves. We're
Yeah.
with
Yeah. Of
ourselves,
course. Of course.
and nobody, well, I can't say nobody, There are lots of people, shockingly so, who are multi-gazillionaires, so they could pay people all day long to do that stuff to them. But why? When we could do this for ourselves.
Exactly, exactly.
There's something that happens when we can do this for ourselves.
I
There's
bet.
another thing that happens when someone can do this for us, but just you need to stop. Holy moly. There. So, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Oh,
lovely feeling. It's a lovely feeling, you know. It's just nice to feel this and to know that, you know, this helps. Great, great,
and
great.
now notice what you feel like on that side of your face, your neck and face.
Yeah, nice. Relaxed.
Because those nerves and the tissue connects up here. So when we look at what causes the face to start to drop as we
Get older.
something changes, yeah. And it's like, but what happens when we do this dragging the plow, right? And we drag it a little bit up here, but we're never pushing on muscles. We're not doing anything like that. We're just dragging the plow. And then we had worked on the arm and we worked up here, right? Okay. And then we work along here. And then what is that side effect that we feel in the face?
Mm-hmm.
And there's something that feels like a little bit of a lift up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I feel it. I feel it.
And that will help
My jaw.
to the
Also.
jaw all the way. Look. And that is with the shoulder and face, the jaw. Look at the difference already. I like have a pull up
Mm-hmm.
on this side, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but it's all the way up in here.
Mm-hmm. 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 Absolutely.
And so that's going to change something in the hearing, but everything gets activated.
Right. Right. I hear that. Because when you said to me 2 weeks ago, coming from the side, we were talking about my tongue. And I said, that's one of my problems. And I still want to talk about that. But you said, come in from the side, from the ear. And because of the temporomandibular joint, I've been doing that all for 2 weeks. And it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Coming in from the side, when I'm playing the piano, I said, just come in, you know, when I notice that my tongue is tightening, which it does, you know, when I'm not paying attention, coming in from the side, from the ear, and thinking about that, especially the difference between the jaw and the skull. So making sure that my jaw is independent of the skull. So the skull, I know, is fixed, and the ear is on the skull, and then the jaw is autonomous. So, you know, that's very, very helpful to me. So thank you very much for that. But
I mean,
what I wanted,
what a difference. Hold on, I get excited. I'm not going to say much. I just want to throw accolades your
no,
way.
go ahead.
How exciting. Yes.
She's excited too.
It's a lot to say. How exciting to get that, because that's life-changing regarding TMJ.
Yeah, totally.
That's all I wanted to say. And tooth pain, by the way.
Right. I can imagine. Yes, I can
Because
imagine.
sometimes tooth pain isn't because there's a problem with a tooth.
Yeah, I've
It's
had
the
that
nerves.
experience.
It's often, and part of trigeminal neuralgia is tooth pain.
All right. Okay.
So if the trigeminal nerve, which comes in like this, is affected, the person goes to the dentist complaining of tooth pain, and eventually the dentist will say, well, let's pull a tooth. And then the person feels better for 2 weeks because they're busy feeling the pain of the tooth being pulled. And then they come back, a few months later and go, I still have pain. So they pull another tooth. And
Oy.
usually they on average pull 3 teeth because they'll pull what
Oh,
they
for
think is
God's
affected,
sakes.
then the 2 on each side. And then until they go, well, I can't help you anymore. Now the person's missing teeth. Right. And then they come to me and I'm like, oh, that's your trigeminal nerve. And this is what we can do. And they're like, oh my God, it was never the tooth. No. And the dentist will say, I'm sorry, it was never the tooth. I don't know what your pain is. But that's their perspective. That you can't blame them. It's their training. Their perspective is if there's pain, it's the tooth. Because you can't imagine how often teeth are bad. It takes
I
a
can
little bit of
imagine.
bacteria. Yeah, it takes a little bacteria to erode the enamel. If we
Mm.
could catch it in the very beginning, which I don't even know how anyone does, then it's good. But the moment the bacteria goes through the enamel, meaning etched into the enamel, there's tubules that feed the whole tooth. There's highways of tubes. As soon as the bacteria gets into that highway of tubes, the
It
tooth
has
is
a
gone.
free reign.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
just,
Yep. 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 I
right
can just imagine.
now, maybe one day that they use the laser with the light and they face it into the tooth,
What's going to happen?
then the light can kill the bacteria.
Oh,
Mark
oh,
my
oh,
words,
oh. Got
when
it.
it's in the tubules.
That would be really good.
And then you seal up the tooth and then you fix the tooth.
Oh, right, right, right.
You'll see, that'll be the thing.
One day, one day.
I had been saying for years they needed to make a laser on a tiny little tube to go up into the gums when they do the teeth cleaning, and it goes up into the gum pockets, and use that laser that'll be like a thread with the light at the end, and put that light up through the gum. No, 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 no. I'm like, I'm telling you, if you do that, what'll it cost? $6,000 to make and create, and you could sell them for whatever. And then you use that, and every dentist in the country or world's going to use that to part of teeth cleaning. No, 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 no. Okay, well, you're missing the point. Next thing I know, a few years later, I go to get my teeth cleaned, and my dentist hygienist has exactly what I described.
Oh my
And she
God.
uses that, and she cleans all the bacteria under the gum line.
You should have patented the intellectual property.
I'm the idea person and I never patent these things. You should see what I've created. But I come from
Wow.
a family. Moshe Feldenkrais had 100 patents, I think.
Oh,
So it was
really?
like, and then I called my brother on the phone the other day, brilliant, also mechanical engineer like Moshe was. And I said, Ron, I have an idea that people can have an app that's hooked to a program that's hooked to the main line of the house for water, that if the system sees that water has been running consistently over an hour, let's say, then you get a ping on your phone that lets you know water's still running. And that way, you can catch your house before there's a flood.
Wow.
Right. And he's like, well, interesting. I just made that. And yesterday I was at the water company showing them what they can do with my product. And I went, and he goes, but we're having a problem with it. And I go, oh, I can help you with it. I know how to fix it. I already know what it should be done. He goes, well, tell me. So you
Wonderful.
see a problem, you realize it needs to be remedied,
Yeah.
and it's doable.
Yeah.
Every answer, Ellie, is on this earth.
Yeah. 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 I totally believe that. I believe that. It's fascinating. Fascinating.
So that's why I believe this touch brings the light into the cells. And there's so much in T-Touch that is about talking about light in the cells. And of course, me, the
What is
science.
T-Touch? What is it?
T-Touch, Tellington T-Touch, Linda Tellington Jones, my very, very dear friend, Google her.
Okay,
And
I will.
okay, and her work was originally made for animals. So, and then it went to humans, and
Wow.
her work is all over the world.
I will Google her. Yes.
And
Yes.
every month, Linda and I teach a 3-hour online class for the
Really?
last Oh, yeah, every month. And you can join the group and take the 3-hour class between the two of us. I'm usually picking an anatomical part,
Right,
creating a little bit of a PowerPoint about it, and
right.
then tying in T-Touch and Feldenkrais and a little bit of Ruthie Alon's Walk for Life with the poles. So she lets me bring in all of me in the way that I describe it and explain it.
Great,
And then
fantastic.
she comes in from a very spiritual
How
aspect.
do I join?
Um,
It's on the website?
it should be on, um, hold on. Touch.com. Oh, I know what I can do. I know what I can do. I can give you, uh, hold on. Okay, okay, I'm gonna give you Linda and, okay, um, okay, I have it. I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna send an email to you and Linda Tellington Jones and the woman that runs the office about joining our online group. And
Okay,
it'll be wonderful. And who knows, maybe it'll even be less expensive doing that than what we're doing.
okay, okay.
We'll figure it
Yes,
out.
yes, 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 yes. Brilliant, brilliant, Eleanor. Thank you. I want to make sure that I get this in
Yes.
before I forget. I have two places in my body that respond involuntarily, and one of them is my tongue, and it is in relationship to my left toes. My
Wait, that
left
your
toes is
tongue
where the bunion is.
and that, thank you for the clarity. That the tongue does what again?
It sort of balls up. It feels like it's not, it's either, yeah, the tip seems to retract involuntarily.
On the left
It's
side also.
no, no,
And
no, no, it has no side. It's just the tongue. It's not on a side. And it might very well, I think it's probably related to the jaw, which is damaged on the right side. It's better. It's better, and it actually responds to coming in on the side. It responds also, and I find this very interesting. If I think of lifting my head, but from my top teeth, so I'm actually lifting my skull and not my jaw, my tongue relaxes, and I can stick it out. My jaw is very relaxed, my tongue is very relaxed, because I'm making that difference between the skull and the jaw part of my head. But as I do that, I notice that my toes are kind of retracting. And what I've been doing since you told me about Endendino is I've been making myself aware of the first bone in each toe, which is the one that's connected, I believe, to the metatarsals. The other ones are connected to further away muscles, I believe. I know in the hands, that's the way it goes. So I think it's the same, but you can correct me. But anyway, the first phalangeal, whatever it's called, of the toes
uh-huh.
are, because of the bunion, but also in the other foot as well, are not relaxed and long. They are balled up. And the feeling I get when I am aware of them and I give them space is extraordinary. It lowers my pelvic floor. It relaxes
Yes.
my pelvic floor. It
Yes.
relaxes the whole right side, left side of my body, which is the one with the bunion, so that all those nerves are not functioning correctly. It relaxes them. It relaxes my butt on that side,
There's
which is
an
very
answer.
important for the piano.
It's
Uh,
your psoas. It's your
yeah.
psoas. It's your psoas.
Yes. Oh, it's my psoas.
It's your psoas. Everything you just described, it's your psoas. Keep on talking, it's your psoas. What I'm saying is everything you're describing. So what's happening? And I think about this in terms of all my clients who come to me in person privately. I can put my hands on and I can see where they're twisty. I call it twisty tidy. It's just like they got their little twist. And so they'll get nice and relaxed, nice and relaxed. I engage them in conversation and happens as soon as they start talking. Now, if they're talking about something super quiet and easy, then it doesn't engage this twisty tidy thread. As soon as they start to talk about, even it could be
Something
laughing,
exciting.
it could be exciting, laughing,
Got it.
thoughtful, deeply, and it's engaging that. So what happened is somewhere long ago, right? Okay, it got an engagement into a pattern, and that pattern became part of their system. And
Right.
because they had a success of some sort, it doesn't mean a positive success.
Mm,
They
mm,
just had a success
mm,
of
mm.
getting something accomplished. It could have been, get your homework done. They plowed through it, they got it done. Or it could have been that they were able to leap over something better, and now that became, so it could be any reason they plowed through it and got that something done, but it became a pattern. And then that pattern becomes involved in everything they do because it was a
Absolutely. Absolutely.
successful
Absolutely.
pattern. Then they can
Absolutely.
take on singing. And as soon as they sing, they go that way. And even
Absolutely.
that goes,
Absolutely.
see what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Oh, this is my
So
life. This is my life. You're describing my life because I'm a performer, and there's nothing more exciting than performing. So there you go. Yes. Yes.
okay,
Yes.
and
Yes. Yes.
that's
So now
right.
what do I
So
do? Now I know it's the psoas. What do I do?
now it's the psoas. So the actual pull is happening. So the psoas is starting at the 12th thoracic vertebrae. It comes down and hooks into the inside of the femur joint.
Okay.
Okay. And so what happens is the psoas pulls, it pulls this up. We're now not going to stand on that leg, whatever leg that is. We're going to stand more on the other leg. And then that leg that's getting stood on more is going to have more pressure into the foot. But this foot that you're not standing on so much is going to be rotated in, and you're going to create a bunion. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah.
when you see, so it's that. So people are like, oh, you need to go to the stretch lab, and you'll go to that person and they'll stretch you forever. And I'm like, OMG, I can give you a million reasons why that is just the worst thing ever.
Mm, mm.
However, I can give you a million reasons why so many things that are done fast are so bad.
Yeah.
Because we need to look into the whole process of how our body is tied in and connected together.
Of
We
course.
own it. And
And
we
it's the
can,
only one we have.
it's the only one we have, and we can make it better.
Yeah.
And when it's pulling up, we're going to end up with pain in the sacroiliac, in the
Of course.
piriformis muscle or
Of course.
piriformis muscle, however you want to pronounce it.
Of
And then you
course.
can go on TikTok and Instagram, and there's an expert that has 1,600 views and likes because he's going to show you how to stretch that piriformis muscle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then I'm going to tell you why that's so bad. Okay, because that's why doing a Feldenkrais lesson of rocking the pelvis, right side to side, adding in the lesson, hand on the head, and rocking. So in other words,
What? Why the hand on the head? Why the hand on the head?
because I'm now creating a loop,
Okay.
and I'm side bending. Look, I'm
Oh,
side
I
bending.
see. I see.
Okay. And I don't go far.
Okay.
I don't go far because I will tweak my neck. So look at me. I have my hand on the head. I barely go. I barely go. That's all I need to do. If I go too far, well, I should be 20 years old if I go that far. At our age, you don't go that far because it's already ready to get overactivated. It's got
Right.
a lifetime of heartache, neck ache,
Right.
pain in the
Right.
neck, right?
Right.
So, we have
Elinor, can I stop you? Can you do it without the hand on the head because of my shoulder arthritis?
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay.
Imagine,
Yeah.
take a moment, just put it there for a sec, take 2 seconds, and then bring it back down. Now you know the feeling of it being connected.
Okay.
Now the hands are on the legs, and
Oh yeah.
just imagine,
So the only thing
imagine
I'm side bending my head, but I'm moving my pelvis,
you're
right?
not side bending your head. Your head is being moved because you're moving your pelvis.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Ah, you see, look, here's side bending my head.
Yeah.
I'm not side bending my head.
No.
I'm taking my pelvis and I'm tilting over to one side of the pelvis.
Yes, I understand that.
And now it curves my whole spine like the
Oh,
letter
I
C.
understand. I understand. That's a wonderful feeling. Oh my gosh, that is fantastic.
Okay, and then come back
Oh, it
and
does
bring your,
all kinds of good.
that's right. And then come back to the middle and let your hand rest. Your hands rest on your lap. And what would happen if you side bend to the other side? Does it bend so easily?
I've
The
been
other side.
doing both sides actually.
Oh, you have been. Oh no.
Yeah.
When
I mean,
when I guide you, only do
do the
one
one
side
side.
until
Okay.
I guide you to the other because it's
Okay.
a
Okay.
learning
Okay. My bad.
process.
Okay.
No worries, no worries. I wasn't clear. Go to the
Okay.
other
So I'm
side.
going back to that.
So come to the middle. Just start in the middle. Come in the middle. And then just tilt. Okay. Okay. We're going to start over again.
Okay.
Hold on. I need you to come over here. Go on. Come here. Come on. Yep. Okay. Okay. I need you to go like, yeah. Holy cow. Okay. I have to put an arm of chairs around me. She goes, like, honest,
You
I
need,
think you need my help.
I think what you need is a playpen.
I have one actually, not a playpen, but a little cave for her. But she likes to participate in the
Yes, I
lessons.
know. I've
So
noticed.
there's
I've
something she's
noticed.
trying to tell me, and I'm not 100% sure what it is. So I wouldn't want to see because now here comes Kitty. So okay, everybody likes to be. If there's something energetically that happens in this work that they want to be part of. So okay,
I think
now
it's you
rest.
as well. I think you're infectious.
Might be.
Your
Woo, better
your
put light in me
excitement.
so I don't infect everybody. Okay, so now put your hands on your lap, on your thighs, and just tilt your weight over the right sit bone so that the left sit bone comes up a little bit off the chair, a little bit away from the chair. So
Now, what
more
do I do
weight.
with my feet? Do I use my feet?
No, not at
No.
all. You're only
Okay.
using the pelvis. You're just leaning the weight over the right side of your pelvis to the
Okay.
chair more, and then come back to the middle.
Okay. This is so good for me. I'm so glad we're doing this.
Then I will take you deeper into it.
Great.
So as you tilt over the right, so that the right, you're going, pushing the right, not pushing, but the right sit bone
Yes.
goes more into the seat and the left
Yes.
sit bone comes up. Notice where your head goes and then come back to the middle and then do it again. Don't look at me. Think of you. I'll guide you. Don't worry. This is why it's just one-on-one, the two of us. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. No, in Feldenkrais, we don't try. We just do.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so now come back to the middle. And again, lean over the right and let the left side of your ribs become a little bit shorter without actively shortening them. Notice that when you lean over the right, that the left ribs become closer to each other. And then come back to the middle, settle into the chair, because life is all about going off kilter to one side and then coming back into the middle. The only thing that doesn't seem to be coming back into the middle is politics anymore.
You said it.
It just goes off kilter to one side or
We're gonna
the
have
other.
we're gonna have a very interesting 2 years.
OMG. I don't want to know about
I
it.
know, I know.
I'm going to go back into my garden and go la, 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 la.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then we go back over the right, and the left comes a little bit away from the chair, and the left ear comes closer to the left hip.
All right. Got it.
And then come back and come back, always to the middle. Find that middle. That's the important thing in life, because life will take you off to one side and the other. It's your ability to find back the middle. So if you ever get lost in the world, you find your middle, and if you wander, you will wander straight. If you're slightly bent and you were in the middle of a jungle and you wandered for days, you would eventually make your way back to the same place.
Yeah.
Because you're bent. Do you see? So if you
Totally.
want to get out of the jungle in life, you've got to spend the time to find back the middle, even though the middle isn't the place you need to live. You just need to find back where that middle is so that you age well.
Absolutely.
People that don't find that middle, they get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
Mm.
Right?
Mm.
Now, what we want to do is keep aging and going this way. We want to age and go, oh, I don't go well that way. Okay, wait, let me find why I go that way. Oh, now I get better that way. Oh, I can do that. I can do that. And now I'm here. Right? So it's about being anywhere
Yeah.
and being anywhere. We want to be able to be anywhere and not in one place too long. That's my lecture, and I'm sticking to it. Come back in the middle and rest.
Okay.
It's important to know.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. And now again, bend so that you lean onto the right and the left sit bones come away from the chair and your left ear comes towards the left hip. See how your head turns, your head bends, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and come back. And if we had the hand on the head, then we would feel that the right side of the ribs. Okay, so come back. Notice how when we bend to when we lean on the right hip and the left ear and the left hip come toward each other, the right ribs open up
Yes. 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 Yes.
and come back. And now rest again. Really come into the middle and rest. And then see what it's like to go to the other side. So lean your weight, your body more towards the left sit bone, and then go over and lean it to the right sit bone. Which sit bone does it go easier?
Right.
Yeah. So we go into unfamiliar territory, but we let the familiar territory teach the unfamiliar to be familiar. Come back to the middle. Let yourself breathe. And lean a little bit on the left. Where does the right ear go? and come back. So when you lean on the left, the right ear comes closer to the right. Come back to the middle. Yeah, take your time going over to the left. Lean on the left, and then the right sit bone comes away from the chair, and the right ear comes towards the right hip. So you curved your spine like the letter C.
Right.
So we started our lesson with Sesame Street. C is for cookie. Now we end our lesson today with Sesame Street. C is for
Very
cookie.
good.
He's
Oh,
good
this is
enough
very
for
good. This is
me.
very good. I appreciate it so much.
And now bend and make cookie on the other side. So we bend, so we go over onto the left sit bone and we create the letter C, and we go over onto the right sit bone and we make the letter C of the whole spine. So the head literally can go both one side and the other. And come back. Come back to the middle and let that rest.
Very good. I haven't seen your dog for a while.
Finally rested. It's usually the first hour in every morning if I'm on a meeting. It's her thing.
Lovely.
Even Kitty went away. He's sitting
Oh.
usually here with me. And then they're like, okay, we got mommy. We got to be with whoever was on the other end because it's such a lovely energy. And then they're like,
So
okay, I
much
can go
fun.
lie down the rest of the day.
Yeah, exhausting. Like me.
Yeah, you know what? Let yourself rest,
I will.
right?
I
Okay,
will.
so what did we do today? Let's take it into one more perspective.
Okay.
And this is a bit of a Ruthie work where we put the hands on the sternum.
What roofie? Is that a thing? Is that a
Oh,
religion?
Ruthie Alon. Ruthie
Oh,
Alon.
Ruthie. A Ruthie.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ruthie Alon that does
Yes.
the
The
Walk for
pole
Life and
person, the
Bones for
pole
Life.
lady.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So we put the hands on the steering wheel. That's on the sternum. And we're just going to turn the sternum to one side and turn the sternum to the other. And the sternum, imagine, is completely, when you bend the sternum. So look at me. Do you see how I'm turning the sternum? I'm turning the steering wheel, turning the steering wheel. So imagine, it's not a nice imagination, but think about it, as if we had a rod of light that goes through the top hand, through the bottom hand. This rod of light goes all the way through and through the back side. And I'm taking the rod, right, this beam of light, and I'm
I
turning.
see. Yes.
So
I'm turning it.
it's turning the corresponding vertebrae from behind the sternum. So put the
Can I do it
hands
this
on.
way?
No, well, yeah, sure.
Because it's more comfortable, actually.
Good. Oh, yes, right. That's working the shoulder.
Yeah.
So you can turn. So you've got this beam of light, and as you turn the steering wheel, you're turning the sternum, the beam of light goes all the way through to the corresponding vertebrae, and you're bending that vertebrae just a little bit, and feel what that's doing into your sit bones.
Oh gosh.
I know. Because those vertebrae are not often welcomed into movement when we're not children anymore, hanging from the bars and playing like this, right? So what happens is we go like this, we play
Right.
like this, we do like this, we
Right.
do it.
Right.
Okay, so, and then we're told, oh, here, put a stick behind and, put
Yeah.
bands, and buy it on Amazon, blah, 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 blah. No. Here, do this, do the steering wheel.
Yeah.
So we can turn it and we welcome them, invite them, and it's for free.
One question.
Mhm.
Is there a way that you can tweak the angle of your light and invite different vertebrae to twist?
No, we'll go to different areas if you want.
Oh,
But
okay.
just don't push on the belly. Listen, don't bother, because
Okay.
as soon as you move those vertebrae here, you're
Yeah.
gonna move the others.
Everything. Okay. Okay. Got it.
Everything else moves easier. The vertebrae right back here
Yeah.
are the ones that are connected to the ribs. They're between the shoulder blades. They become so top secret, they forget
Yeah.
to be involved in the movement.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as soon as you can move those,
Yeah.
everything else will move and connect. So
Okay.
you don't need to over, the others will overdo. What
Yes.
happens is the other ones get sore
Yeah.
and achy or injured
Yeah.
because they're overworking for the ones that aren't moving.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got
Isn't
it.
that amazing?
It
So
is.
all we need to do is take them. That's why chiropractors, I mean, God bless chiropractors. Our best friend is a chiropractor. They make a lot of money because people don't move their ribs,
Yeah.
and the vertebrae get, and so now, mind you, the vertebrae that are connected to the ribs are designed to move less.
Because of the ribs.
Because of the ribs, they're designed to move less. They're not
Right.
supposed to move more.
Right.
The problem is when we don't move them at all,
Exactly. Exactly.
we got a heartache.
Exactly. Exactly.
In Yiddish, it's called tsuris. You know, we get a heartache over the whole thing because it becomes problematic. And then we get
Right.
this with the head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we get the scholar neck. So that we get in and we do the steering wheel. You can
Mm,
even put like the fist,
mm,
and you
mm.
just create that turning as long as it's done softly to invite the movement.
Feels great.
Okay, so we got
Okay. Yes, we have
got
that.
the dragging the
The
plow.
dragging the plow.
First we got the connection into, so we can work the foot that we can't lift. And by the way, frankly, it's not easy on most of our hips to do that anyway, to bring the leg up and do this very much, because
Right.
it can end up pulling the muscles back here if we haven't been doing that for years. So little
Right.
by little, but here we can get to those toes and get that connection. We'll feel the resonance. So that's number one. Number two is dragging the
Dragging the
plow,
plow.
right? And we can drag the plow up this way too. And then
Very
number
good.
three is imagine for a moment, okay, now we know what that feeling is, and then come back and we do the tilting one side and the other. But we start with just one side
Okay.
because we really want to glorify in a good way the goodness that it feels, the deliciousness of the differentiation. We want to feel the difference. And then we go to the other side and go, wow, it doesn't go so well. Cool. Let's go back to the easy side. What am I doing there? And now let's go here and do it. But it's not done as an exercise. It's an exercise in awareness. And in that awareness, we're like, oh, look at this. And then notice how I feel.
Exactly. Exactly. Very, very good. Very good. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much. You still gave me 3 lessons, you know.
I did. I know. How about that? I don't ever intend on
You,
it. It
you can't help it. But but I
Okay. So
I ask a lot of questions too. So
I'm glad you did.
yeah. Thank you.
Need to do
Thank
that.
you so much.
So I am
So
going to stop
I'm going to see
recording.
you on the 1st of December.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to stop recording.
Okay.
Oh, and today is
The
Thursday,
17th.
November 17th,
Yeah.
2022. Okay. Oh, wait, stop.